China and India, home to over a third of humanity, are writing the future of global demographics. Their populations, each exceeding 1.4 billion, have profound implications for the world. These Asian giants are on contrasting demographic trajectories, shaping their economies, societies, and global influence. China, once synonymous with rapid population growth, faces a shrinking workforce and an aging population. The legacy of the one-child policy, implemented in 1979 and relaxed in recent years, continues to cast a long shadow. India, on the other hand, is experiencing a youth bulge, with a median age significantly lower than China's. This demographic dividend presents both opportunities and challenges for India's development. China's recent shift from a two-child to a three-child policy reflects growing concerns about its shrinking labor pool and the burden on its social security system. India, while grappling with poverty and unemployment, sees its burgeoning youth population as a potential engine for economic growth. As these Asian giants continue to rise, understanding their demographic destinies becomes paramount for the world. China's one-child policy, implemented in 1979, drastically reduced its population growth rate. While credited with preventing overpopulation and boosting economic growth, it has also created significant social and economic challenges. The policy, relaxed to a two-child policy in 2016 and further to a three-child policy in 2021, reflects the government's growing concerns about a shrinking workforce and a rapidly aging population. The economic impact of the one-child policy is undeniable. With fewer mouths to feed, China could invest more in education, infrastructure, and manufacturing, propelling its economic rise. However, the policy has also resulted in a shrinking labor pool, rising labor costs, and a growing gender imbalance. The Chinese government is now offering incentives, such as tax breaks and subsidized childcare, to encourage couples to have more children. The world watches closely as China navigates this demographic tightrope. India's population, projected to surpass China's by 2027, presents a unique set of challenges and opportunities. With a median age of 28, India boasts a youthful and vibrant population. This demographic dividend, if harnessed effectively, could propel India to become an economic powerhouse. However, it also brings with it the daunting task of providing education, healthcare, and employment opportunities for its burgeoning youth population. India's population density, among the highest in the world, puts a strain on its resources and infrastructure. Providing adequate housing, sanitation, and healthcare to its vast population remains a major challenge. Despite these challenges, India's youthful population offers immense potential. To capitalize on this demographic dividend, India needs to invest heavily in education, skill development, and job creation. By making strategic investments in its human capital, India can turn its demographic challenge into a demographic dividend. The rise of China and India has reshaped the global economic landscape. Their large populations, coupled with rapid economic growth, have created massive consumer markets and driven global commodity prices. However, this economic ascent has come at a cost to the environment. Both countries are among the world's largest emitters of greenhouse gases, and their industrialization has led to widespread pollution and resource depletion. China's economic miracle has been fueled by cheap coal, leading to severe air and water pollution. India, heavily reliant on coal for electricity generation, also faces significant environmental challenges. Recognizing the environmental costs of their economic growth, both China and India have made commitments to combat climate change and transition towards cleaner energy sources. China has invested heavily in renewable energy and set ambitious targets for carbon neutrality. The world is looking to these Asian giants to lead the way in combating climate change and creating a more sustainable future. The rise of China and India is not just an economic phenomenon, it represents a fundamental shift in the global balance of power. As the Global South asserts its presence on the world stage, China and India are emerging as its champions, challenging the traditional dominance of the West. Their growing economic and military might, coupled with their demographic weight, is reshaping global institutions and creating a more multipolar world order. China, with its Belt and Road Initiative, is expanding its economic and political influence across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. India, with its growing diaspora and its role in international organizations like the United Nations, is also projecting its soft power and seeking a greater voice in global affairs. The two Asian giants are challenging the existing global order, advocating for reforms in international institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank to reflect the changing balance of power. Their rise has also led to increased geopolitical competition, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region. The United States, seeking to maintain its global dominance, is also vying for influence in the region, leading to a complex geopolitical chess game. The world watches closely as this new geopolitical landscape takes shape. The simultaneous rise of China and India has inevitably introduced an element of competition on the global stage. Both nations harbor ambitions of becoming leading powers, wielding influence in their respective regions and beyond. This competition, while not necessarily adversarial, has created a complex web of alliances, partnerships, and rivalries that are shaping the geopolitical landscape of the 21st century. Economically, China and India compete for resources, markets, and investments. Both countries are heavily reliant on energy imports and compete for access to oil and gas resources in the Middle East and Central Asia. They also compete for market share in sectors such as manufacturing, technology, and pharmaceuticals. Militarily, both countries are engaged in significant military modernization programs. The geopolitical competition between China and India is a defining feature of the Asian century. The rise of China and India, along with other emerging economies, is leading to a more multipolar world order. This shift away from a unipolar system dominated by the United States presents both opportunities and challenges for global governance. A multipolar world, characterized by multiple centers of power, has the potential to be more representative and responsive to the needs of a diverse range of actors. However, it also carries the risk of increased instability and conflict if not managed effectively. The absence of a single hegemonic power could lead to a more fragmented and unpredictable international system. Cooperation among major powers, particularly China and India, will be crucial in navigating this complex and evolving global order. Their willingness to cooperate on shared challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and cybersecurity will be paramount in determining whether a multipolar world leads to greater stability or conflict. The world is at a crossroads, transitioning from a unipolar to a multipolar system. While demographics and economic might are crucial, the true test of a superpower lies in its ability to exert soft power. China and India are increasingly aware of this, engaging in a subtle dance to win hearts and minds globally. Their strategies, however, differ significantly, reflecting their unique cultural strengths and historical narratives. China's soft power push is evident in its Confucius Institutes, its expanding media presence, and its Belt and Road Initiative, often seen as a charm offensive to expand its influence. It projects an image of strength and efficiency, showcasing its economic success and technological prowess. However, its human rights record and its assertive foreign policy often overshadow its soft power efforts. India, on the other hand, leverages its democratic values, its cultural diversity, and its ancient traditions of yoga and Ayurveda to enhance its soft power. The soft power competition between China and India is just beginning. The rise of China and India presents both opportunities and challenges for the world. Their economic dynamism has lifted millions out of poverty and reshaped global trade. Their technological advancements hold the potential to address global challenges such as climate change and disease. However, their rivalry, if not managed effectively, could lead to regional instability and conflict. The world has a stake in ensuring that the rise of China and India is peaceful and mutually beneficial. This requires fostering dialogue and cooperation between the two Asian giants, encouraging them to resolve their differences through diplomacy and find common ground on shared challenges. A multipolar world can only be stable and prosperous if it is based on shared rules, mutual respect, and a commitment to peaceful coexistence. The world watches closely, hoping that these two ancient civilizations will rise peacefully, embrace cooperation, and help shape a more just and equitable world order. The 21st century is often touted as the Asian century, and the rise of China and India is central to this narrative. Their demographic weight, economic dynamism, and geopolitical ambitions are reshaping the global order. Their journey, however, is fraught with challenges. Can they overcome their internal challenges of poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation? Can they manage their rivalry and find common ground for cooperation? The answers to these questions will determine not just the fate of China and India, but also the future of the world. Their success in navigating these complexities will shape the contours of the 21st century and beyond. The world has a stake in their success, and it is in the interest of all nations to support their peaceful rise and encourage their responsible leadership on the global stage.